Have a few minutes? You won't believe what you can do with it. Open a Regions checking account online in as little as 5 minutes. Then enjoy award-winning service and banking tools and tech that help you live in the moment. Learn more at regions.com/live in the moment. Regions Bank, member FDIC.
Broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio inside the Sonesta Gwinnett Place Atlanta Hotel. It's time for Gwinnett Business Radio. Gwinnett Business Radio is presented by Regions Bank. Brave the beginning. Member FDIC.
And hello again, everybody, and welcome to Gwinnett Business Radio. Mike Salmon with you. Without Stephen Julian today. Claims he had a dentist appointment, so we'll find out. We'll ask him next show. We are broadcasting live from the Subaru of Gwinnett studio. We've got two great guests in the studio today to talk about their businesses. Lucy Mejia. I already messed it up, Lucy. Lucy Mejia. Mejia.
There you go. Yep, you got it.
I always do it perfectly until the mic goes on and then I screw it up. Lucy Mejia with the Junkluggers of Atlanta Metro East. And we'll just say Junkluggers. Junkluggers. Can we just start? See, I'm a mess without Steven here. Junkluggers of Atlanta Metro East, but we'll just call it Junkluggers from this point forward. She is the owner, Chief Marketing and Development Officer. And then John Withers is here with How Money Works, and thank goodness those are easy names that I can pronounce. So we'll start with Lucy. Lucy, apologies in advance,
yes,
but welcome to the program. Junkluggers. I actually saw a sign this morning, one of those little signs posted in the ground this morning when I was leaving Chick-fil-A.
Wonderful.
I guess it was probably yours.
Yes.
What is Junkluggers? What do you do?
So we are an eco-friendly, community-oriented junk removal service. We are on a mission to keep as much out of the landfill as possible by donating and recycling items we take.
Now, this seems to be a more popular thing in more junk removal places. We're hearing more and more about this. What makes you different from the other guy down the street that's also lugging away my junk?
Yeah, so what we do at the Junkluggers is once we take the items, we bring them back to our warehouse. We separate the items into different components, right? Things that can be donated, things that can be remixed into the market to keep them out of the landfill. The things that we can't donate, we try our best to recycle those items. And how we're really different is we give back to our customers in our community. We work with various charities around Atlanta, and like Fodak, Furniture Bank of Metro Atlanta, and Rainbow Village, right, for example. We also give those donation receipts that we receive back to our customers so they can file it on their taxes.
So it's like it could be a tax write-off.
That's right.
That's great. What are the type of things that you take? I think we all have stuff around the house, and it gets to the point where you don't even realize it's there anymore. It just kind of sits in a corner. I've got stuff in my garage that I thought about. It's like, why is that even still there? It's been there for years. I might as well get rid of it, but I never have. So what are the types of things that normally you are picking up? Yeah,
so you nailed it. We do garage clean outs, so you can actually use your garage again.
You can actually put your car in your garage?
Oh, right. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, what a novel idea.
Yeah. But we take just about anything. The only things we don't take are hazardous chemicals. And so we take couches, appliances, old rickety swing sets, sheds that are just, falling apart. You name it, we can take it.
So in this case, size doesn't matter.
It does not.
It sounds like you could take some pretty big items.
That's right. We have very big trucks.
How do you quote the price, though?
So we quote the price by the volume the items take up in the truck. Our trucks are the big container trucks, so they're the big green trucks that you see out in the road. They're 16 cubic yards or 12 feet long, 8 feet wide, 5 feet tall. And I like to tell everyone they fit about 16 washing machines inside of them, 5 feet tall, or a one-bedroom apartment worth of items.
Okay, that's a good way of thinking about it. If I have all this stuff around the house or in my backyard or wherever, in my garage, and I want you to come do it, do you come out first to take a look to kind of give me an idea on the quote, or do we just do that over the phone? Take me through the whole process from A to Z.
Right. So how we work is, you give us a call and say, hey, Lucy, I have all this stuff. I really need to get rid of it. I'm not using it anymore. I know someone else can. or it's just an eyesight in my backyard, and I'm done. I need my serenity and my clear head. So please come take it away from me. I'm like, absolutely. We're gonna set you up with a 2-hour arrival window appointment. We do free, no obligation estimates. So once we're on site, our crew takes a look at all the items. They give you an estimate. If you like the price, we take everything right then and there.
Okay. If I were to fill up one of those trucks, you said it could fill like a whole 1-bedroom,
That's right.
space. Just to give our listeners an idea of what it would cost to get this stuff out of my house.
Absolutely. We're totally transparent with our pricing. A full truck would be $575. And we do have some...
That's a lot of stuff, though.
That's
You're
a lot of stuff.
filling up the whole truck.
And
okay.
Our crew are really good at Tetris, right? So they box it in, and they really fill up that space.
Is there a minimum amount? If I just got a washing machine or just a big box of stuff for some reason that I can't take myself, is there a minimum amount that you normally go by?
We do. So, we like to take care of our crew and make sure they're paid well, and we do have expenses, right? So our minimum is $125, and then we go up to small increments to half a truck of $370, and then the full truck of $575.
Okay, so Junkluggers, it's a franchise.
We are a franchise,
and now your company is actually Junkluggers of Atlanta Metro East.
That's right.
So we're talking to Lucy. We want to work with Lucy because we love Lucy.
Yes.
Oh wait, there should be a show called that.
Well, my husband's name is Ricardo.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yes.
And this is a business that both of you are in, or is he in a separate business?
He's in a separate business.
Okay.
But I do have a business partner, and so I do the marketing, and he does the operations.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what is the area that you serve?
So we serve the Atlanta Metro East area. We're talking Tucker to Buford, all the way down or around to Decula, Stockbridge, and then Conyers. So we have a very large area, and we're mainly the Metro East side of Atlanta.
Let's say I'm listening to this show right now, and we're going to give your contact information at the end. They call you. You don't serve their area. Can you push them in the right direction?
That's right. Either we can serve them, or we have another location in Atlanta that can serve them. And so all I would need is a zip code, and I can point you in the right direction.
If I have a bunch of trash around my house, it's not something that can be recycled or something that you'd want to give to Goodwill or a charity. If it's just trash that needs to go in a landfill, you take that as well.
We will. Absolutely. Yeah, we're not picky when it comes to the junk. We just do our best to do what's best for our environment and our communities.
Who are some of the folks you work with? Is it all residential, or do you work with some commercial folks too?
Absolutely. So we work with residential and commercial, and we work with all kinds of professionals, property managers, realtors, senior living relocation services and communities, people, in residents who are downsizing or moving or just want to get rid of their stuff.
I got you. So you've been doing this for a little while now. Has there been a project that kind of brings a smile to your face, like something that someone called and they wanted it removed, and you're like, are you serious? Or anything that kind of stands out? Any stories you can share with our audience?
Yeah, so we actually just had a really big job that was quite a feat. So it was a hoarder or collector situation where the owner of the house had collected 15 tons of paper and kept it in his house. And when I saw it, I got really excited. I was like, oh my gosh,
You got excited? Why? You're like in cha-ching?
Because I can keep this stuff from going to the landfill. It's not going to be thrown away. I have the means to be able to bring it in my trucks and make sure that it gets recycled and reused. And so, yes, I was pumped. And it took 13 trucks to get all that paper out of that house. I can't believe it's still standing, because that's 30,000 pounds of paper.
Why did they have that much?
He was a very smart guy. This is what I like to say. We found some very interesting things, and that's part of the job that makes it so exciting. Is we never know what we're going to find. We never know what kind of situation we're going to be in, but we can handle anything.
What's been really fun while talking to you about junk, you've had a big smile on your face the whole time.
Yeah.
It seems like you really enjoy what you're doing. You feel like you're making a difference.
Yeah, so I actually have a background in geology and environmental sciences, and so
It actually makes sense then.
Yeah. So instead of taking care of the cleanup, pollution on the backside, I'm helping by making sure that doesn't happen on the front side.
I got you.
Yeah.
Since you've been in this business, have there been any surprises like, oh, I didn't see that coming?
Oh, that's a good question. We're always up for any kind of challenge. But, when something is out of our scope, then, what's great is we have partners that help us and we can refer them to our customers as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to get back to the your husband's name is Ricardo. That's his last name?
Ricardo's his first name.
Okay. It was going to be a Ricky Ricardo. Yeah. So we got Lucy and Ricardo.
That's
so there
right.
really is an I Love Lucy thing here going on.
That's right. That's why I picked him up.
What business is your husband in?
So he works for the Home Depot in corporate. And so he works in the learning department there.
Interesting that you said he works for the Home Depot, not just he works for Home Depot.
Oh, well, that's what they say. The Home Depot.
It's the Home Depot.
The Home Depot.
Okay. No. So, Junkluggers of Atlanta Metro East.
Yes.
Now, you've been around for about a year or so. Been doing this now?
So we're actually going into our 8th month.
Okay.
And so
I was giving you more credit.
Hey, we feel pretty seasoned. We have a great franchise family that we're really all very connected. We talk on a daily basis, and so we get to hear everyone else's stories and kind of collaborate together to solve problems and do our business.
As a business owner, where do you see yourself in 5 years? What is the goal?
The goal is to have another hub down on the south side. So we have a warehouse in Peachtree Corners, and
Peachtree Cities would be on the south side.
It is on the south side, so closer there. And then in 5 years having 4 more trucks.
So you want to be the junk hauling queen of Atlanta.
That's right.
That is the goal, a takeover.
And a remix. So if I could open up a remix store to be able to give back to more charities, then I would love to do that too.
A remix store, would that be like a secondhand store?
That's right. Yeah. So the items we take, we would go and we would sell as like a thrift store.
Yeah.
And we would give proceeds back to charities.
One man's junk is another man's treasure.
Absolutely.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, Lucy, for those that would like to find out more and say, listen, I'd like to get a quote, or I've had some stuff in my backyard, I could probably use you right now thinking of all the stuff I have. What's the best way to find out the information?
Yeah, so we have a website. It's junkluggers.com, or you can give us a call. We have a call center. It's 1-800-LUG-JUNK.
1-800-LUG, L-U-G,
L-U-G.
Junk, J-U-N-K. And okay, one last question. Owner, Chief Marketing and Development Officer is your title.
That's right.
What does that mean? Are you responsible to go out there, not only of course get publicity for your company, but do you help get the business as well, or do you have other business development people? You kind of do it all.
I kind of do it all. Yeah. Yes, the owner of a business has many hats, right?
True.
And
yes.
So I'm in the warehouse. Sometimes I'm on the job with the crew, and then a lot of the time, then I'm doing the networking and marketing for us.
Great, Lucy Mejia. Dang it! Holy cow!
It's okay.
Thank you. We 2 years of high school Spanish club, a year of college, and I still can't, Mejia.
There you go.
I mean, it's not hard.
You got it.
It's not hard. But Lucy, thank you so much. It's been great to have you.
Thank you, Mike. I really appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, Lucy, with Junkluggers of Atlanta Metro East. Before we go on to John, I want to let you know about love. It's what makes Subaru a Subaru. We love Lucy. It's love. Love is everywhere today. But it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. Enjoy big savings and a hassle-free experience at Subaru of Gwinnett, where people sell cars. Visit SubaruofGwinnett.com and join their family today, or come on in and see the difference. If you're already a Subaruist, then check out their Facebook page for the latest news, offers, and community events. All right, John, you've got a tough act to follow right now.
I do.
But I have a feeling you will excel because you do a lot of speaking engagements. You're with a company called How Money Works, and you're a financial educator.
I am.
What is How Money Works? I find this fascinating.
How Money Works is an organization that's comprised of people that are educators. We have attorneys. We have people in the financial industry. And we've all banded together with our individual expertise to bring the message of financial literacy to people. And by financial literacy, I mean talking about earning, spending, but also saving, managing, and investing money. These are the core concepts that most of us just weren't taught in school. Pretty much everything you know about money when you get to a certain point, and I know it was true in my case, is what you learn when you grow up. You know, there isn't necessarily an organized way to learn about these things, and so people get themselves in situations that they wish they hadn't, and the ramifications of it can be significant, especially, you know, later in life. You start getting into my vintage, and you have some issues with money. You don't have the time to recover.
Yeah.
So those are the types of things that we're addressing. We have a goal as an organization to reach 20 million American families within the next 10 years. So,
Okay. Well, follow-up question then is going to be, how do you reach those millions of people?
Well, two ways. Well, I shouldn't say two ways. The primary way we go about this is we initially offer classes. It's based on our best-selling book. The book is called How Money Works, Stop Being a Sucker. It was the #1 best-selling book in personal finance in 2020. Now, if you think about that, personal finance, not necessarily a hot topic, written by two people that aren't celebrities. I mean, if your name's Tom Cruise, you're going to be a bestseller book if you write a book, right? But these guys aren't, and yet it was still the #1, one of the bestsellers on Amazon in 2020. Haven't seen the numbers for 21 yet, so I'm not sure if we can continue with that. But the whole point of it is to, we start off with teaching classes based on the book, and then it's like learning how to drive a car. You learn how to drive by actually driving the car, right? I mean, you have to go to driver's ed classes,
Right.
and you have to do all that, but it isn't until you actually get behind the wheel of a car is where you really learn. So we set up one-on-one consultations, reviews, no cost, no obligation, and we walk people through their own personal finances with the frameworks that we have set up, and then they can continue to work with us, or they can take it and go on to a financial professional they're working with, or whatever they want to do.
You know, the basics of money, balancing a checkbook, compound interest, things like that. I've always wondered, why do they not teach us that in school?
You know, the opinions on that are wide and varied. There are some people that think it's just because the teachers themselves aren't taught. The only people that know it are like economists, and they typically write books for other economists. And then there are some people that are more conspiracy-minded. You know, it's like there's, I've heard some people, this is not my opinion, I've heard some people say that, well, the less we know, the more money the financial industry makes. I mean, so the reasons can be varied, and I don't know what they are. Right now, we're still addressing the symptoms before we kind of get into the why this is happening. But we're hoping to get to that point, too, where people recognize that this is something that we all need.
Yet we learn science and we all learn how to dissect a frog, but they don't teach us the basics about money.
Well, you know, it's kind of a joke in our company, but it isn't really a joke. Every public school system in this country is required to teach some level of sex education. Okay, now there are reasons for that, and they're good reasons. Okay, but you can make the point: human beings have been around for several thousand years. You can make the argument that we kind of have the basics of that figured out, but something that's just as important, something that we use every day, something that we physically cannot live without in our society, and I'm talking about money now, and nobody teaches it. I mean, it's just a travesty. And, you know, and I have suffered through in my career, I mean, I'm in my 60s now, but I've suffered through my career the ramifications of making mistakes that I thought were good decisions at the time, but I just didn't know what I didn't know.
Yeah. What are some of those mistakes that people are making? What are some of the most common mistakes you're seeing?
The most common mistake we're seeing is that people are thinking about retirement or thinking about their future money requirements too late in life. Okay, people really start, generally speaking, I guess speaking generalities here, but it's when you start getting past your 50th birthday, you start thinking, well, how much longer am I going to work, and how much am I going to need, and all this and that, and those kind of things. Wherein what you're really not to start thinking about that is in your 20s, because that's when you have the time value of money on your side. so that if you're trying to, you can save smaller amounts, but over a longer period of time, and having things like compound interest working for you. When you get to a certain point, I mean, I'm still working on the time machine thing to go back in time to undo a few mistakes I've made. You know, I've got the DeLorean. I just can't get the flux capacitor to work. You know, I'm still working on that. But until that happens, I mean, all you have is the time that's available in front of you.
Right.
And so it's quite often, and I was this case in my 20s, I just didn't value the amount of time that I have, and that's one of the things that we really hit in the class is the time value of money, is using the time that you have available to you to work for you.
So we want to educate as many millions of people as we can about how money works. And we're talking with John Withers, who's a financial educator with How Money Works. Obviously, the book, you can order the book, you can read, educate yourself, but you've also mentioned a couple times the classes. Take me through what a class looks like.
Well, a class is typically, we offer these, they're no cost, and we typically will speak to employees of companies. We work with human resource professionals with that. We'll speak to organizations. And what we do in the class is essentially we highlight some of the high points of the book. The whole point of the class is to interest people enough to getting in the book. The book is written in a fun, it's not a comic book, but it's got animated characters, and we try to write it as I say we, I'm not one of the authors.
It won't intimidate people, because some people you think, oh my gosh, financial advice books, and they're so technical, but this is people friendly.
They are. You're absolutely right, and those books are technical. I have most financial books. They're really thick. They've got lots of words. They got lots of charts and graphs. And if on my bookshelf, they've got a lot of dust because I just don't. If I have some insomnia, then I can open that financial book and I'm gone. But when I've read it, I have no idea what I've read. And the bottom line is in a 1-hour class, and we're trying to establish the basic concepts. We're education based first, so people understand the basic concepts of this. So then they can work with somebody, either with us or with another financial advisor, someone to say, hey, I want to take these concepts and apply them. Okay, and so the classes to answer your question. Sorry about that. I get excited and I get sidetracked. The class is the high points of the book. The follow up is getting into the book, and then as part of the class, if they so desire, we can sit down on a one-on-one basis. We typically do that either over the phone or on Zoom or something like that, and we walk people through their own personal finances with regard to the framework of the book.
Where are classes offered? How often are they offered?
We are setting up some regular public classes here in the Atlanta area. Our next one's going to be up in Beaufort. It's going to be a week from next Tuesday. So I forget exactly what date that is. I have to look on the calendar.
And for those
here
that might be listening to this podcast weeks from now or months from now,
right? Is
there a place where they can find out when these are? Is there a website?
Yeah. The main website of the company is howmoneyworks.org.
Okay.
And we are in the process of updating. The pandemic has actually kind of put a hold on some of our live classes, so we're just now in the point where we can actually start offering public live classes again. And then the other thing that we do is we actually work, as I said, with human resources professionals and employee benefit people to actually speak to their companies and to their organizations as well.
So, John, I can go to the website, and if I'm in Beaufort or I live in Decatur or wherever I may live, I can maybe type in the area and figure out where there's going to be classes near me and when they'll be?
Our website is actually, we're still working on that part of it, on the website part of it. The best thing to do is to either email me, which is my email address is john@howmoneyworks.org, or you can reach out to us. Our outreach person is Karen, and she's at 240-298-1005. And one of those two places will get you all the answers you need.
So classes can be wherever or whenever as necessary.
As necessary, or on demand.
Well, I was going to ask you that. If I'm a company and I've got hundreds of employees and I would like to offer this to my employees, I can call John or Karen and have you come in and maybe give a class.
We do that all the time. What we do is we work to. Karen and I have both been business owners. Karen is our outreach person. She's also my wife. But Karen and I have worked businesses individually and also together. So we recognize that everybody has time constraints and whatever. So we work to minimize our impact on the employees. I've given classes at 6:30 in the morning. I've given classes at 8:30 in the evening, trying to catch shift workers and things like that. So whatever we can do to tailor that to get this information to to their employees, and also because what helps the human resources persons especially is that businesses are required by law to inform their employees about the benefits they offer, not just a list of what they are, but also to educate them. And that's one of the things we do, is we help them with that education requirement, so it reduces the likelihood of somebody coming back with like a human resources lawsuit because they claim that nobody ever told me that I could have done this or done that. So.
Yeah. So you're really on a mission to educate as many people as you can.
We are.
And you could be doing anything right now, John. You could be enjoying retirement. You could be running a Junkluggers business. There's so many things you could be doing. What is it about this that's close to your heart that makes you want to do this and really get the word out about how money works?
Mike, I was very, very fortunate. I grew up in a working class Irish Catholic family. So today's St. Patrick's Day. Today's a national holiday in my family. Okay, my dad knew how to work. My dad was 14 when the stock market crashed in '29. And I was never able to get a straight answer out of him if he actually graduated from high school or not. He was not the kind of guy that answered questions he didn't think I should be asking. But the bottom line is, I had a terrific turn of events in my life when I got selected to attend the Naval Academy in Annapolis. And that changed everything about my life, about my financial future and everything. And put me in touch with people that helped me along the way to learn more about money and whatever. And I want to be kind of that spark that can help people change the trajectory of their lives. I was speaking with a gentleman on the phone just a couple of days ago, and he says, what I want to do is, he said, my family has been living the same way for generations. He says, I want to change that for my kids. And he said, and now I actually see a way that we can actually do that. And those are the kind of messages that keep us going. So I've been fortunate in what I've been able to accomplish, and now it's more of a giving back thing. As a former military officer, service is and Karen, my wife, and I are both in the military. We both feel strongly about the opportunities available in this country, and we hear a lot of the things, and deservedly so, about some of the things that aren't right in this country, but there are a lot of good things in this country as well, and we believe in that. And I think one of the things is helping people understand what is available to them, and giving them the confidence and the assurance that they can succeed at that, will change a lot of people's lives, and that's why we do what we do.
Absolutely. Well said. We should end on that. What do you think?
Well, I am not going to stop talking. Okay, I'm an Irishman. Okay, so I'm familiar with that. Karen has this big shepherd's hook that she'll pull out and pull me off the stage at some point. So.
Well, we can end the show and go off the air, and you can just keep talking all day long if you'd like. I won't stop you. But I do want to go back to one quick thing, and you mentioned that these classes are free to attend.
They are. They are free to attend. They are free to the company that puts them on, to the organization. The important point for us is getting the information out there. And so that's why we're independent. We're not beholden to any specific product provider or any firm. So we actually have the ability to pick and choose who we match people up with.
The website, again, is howmoneyworks.org. But for people in the Gwinnett County area, you want to give the contact information for you and Karen again?
Sure. My email is John, that's John, at howmoneyworks.org. And I'm one of the financial educators, and I can answer questions like that. For setting up classes and learning about how to go about doing that, you want to reach out to Karen. She's our outreach coordinator, and she is at either Karen at howmoneyworks.org, or the best way to reach her is her number 240-298-1005.
For the business people that are listening that might want to do this for their company, for their employees, is there a minimum amount of people you want to have in a class?
There's no minimum that we require. Okay, I have given classes to 50. I've given classes to 2. It's because it's one of those things where you make things available to people, but they also have to make it, they feel like it's important to them to attend. So we don't force people to attend. We don't want people just sitting there because they have to. We all have enough meetings we have to go to without adding to that,
Right.
So as a military person, death by PowerPoint, it's the last thing we want to do. So
John Withers with How Money Works. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Well, thanks for having me, Mike. And I enjoyed listening to Junkluggers as well. That's quite. My wife's a geological engineer, so I'm listening to that. I said, okay, that's a big deal.
Small world.
Yeah.
Well, and it's also very awesome today to have two business people that are really doing something dear to their heart, and they're giving back, and they're making a difference, but both in very different ways. So that was really cool today. So again, John Withers, thank you so much from How Money Works. Lucy Mejia, oh my God. From Junkluggers for joining us as well. Thank you to both our guests. Before we say our goodbyes, we want to let you know that we are here to help you help your business's financial future stay on track. Regions Commercial Banking has a team of experienced bankers in Gwinnett who can guide you in all areas of growth. Get the resources you need so every step can move you closer to your business goals. To learn more, visit regions.com/commercial-banking. Regions Bank, member FDIC. Again, a big thank you to both our guests for doing a great job today. This was a lot of fun. Be sure to follow us on social media here at Business Radio X. We're at Gwinnett Radio X, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all over the place, Twitter as well. Thanks to Connor for producing. For Steven, he'll be back from the dentist next time, we hope, unless it's a really bad cavity or root canal. I'm Mike, and we'll see you next time here on Business Radio X.